God says, "My child, I speak to you now with a voice that cannot be silenced, for the hour is urgent, and Archangel Michael has been pressed to tears." Important alert, Michael is shouting with his sword in hand. He is trembling because of what he sees unfolding around you. He says there are only 5 minutes left, 5 short moments before the tide of your destiny shifts, and if you ignore this message, the weight of your sorrow will be so heavy that you will cry until the heavens themselves echo your pain. I tell you, open this immediately, for what I reveal now is not something that can wait for tomorrow or even the next hour. The angel has sounded the trumpet in your name, he has written your name on the scroll of urgent protection, but he pleads that you must listen now, before it is sealed against you. My child, your life has been under watch by eyes that are not of me. A shadow crept into your days, pretending to be harmless, pretending to be ordinary, but Archangel Michael exposed it last night in a vision so strong that even the heavens quaked. He saw the plan laid against you, and he struck down one scheme already, but he says there is more, something hidden, something timed, something waiting to explode within your path if you walk without this knowledge. The very reason you are reading this now is because I moved you to it. It is no accident, it is not chance. Your spirit was pulled here by my hand because the danger around you cannot remain hidden anymore. 5 minutes, child, 5 minutes before the trap closes, 5 minutes before the sorrow would break your heart, 5 minutes before you would question why no one warned you. But I am warning you now, and Michael is standing guard, his voice trembling because of how near the danger is. Do not let these words slip from your eyes. Do not scroll past them thinking you have time, for Michael says, you do not. He is crying loudly, and his tears fall like fire upon the earth, because he knows that once the appointed time passes, it cannot be undone. He saw a figure, someone who smiles in front of you but speaks against you when you turn your back. This one has carried a secret that you were never meant to know, but I have chosen to reveal it. They are not who you believe. Michael says, you trusted them, you gave them access to your heart, and in silence they plan to rob you of what is most precious. Even now, as I tell you this, they think you remain blind, but no, I open your eyes. I send Michael to draw his sword across the veil of deception, and it is falling apart. The truth is bleeding through. And child, when you see it, it will break something inside you, but it will also set you free. Michael says, 5 minutes remain because the enemy's time is nearly up. Their plot is nearly exposed. Their voice is about to crack under the pressure of their own lies. This is why you must not delay. This is why you must not dismiss this. Your sorrow will be unbearable if you ignore this and walk forward unaware, because the very person you thought would protect you has been the one pulling threads against you. My child, hear me. Michael says he heard them speaking your name, not in love, but in malice. They sold your name, they offered it in exchange for their own gain. They laughed, thinking no one would ever uncover it. But Michael wept, because he loves you, and because he has fought beside you since the day you were born. He has been with you in nights of fear, in days of despair, and even when you could not hear him, he stood by you. But tonight he shouts, tonight he pleads, tonight he commands that you open this with urgency. My child, what I tell you now is a storm warning. The heavens are opening, lightning strikes in the spirit, and your life is being written in fire. What they tried to erase from you cannot be erased anymore. What they tried to steal will return to you with double portion, but only if you take heed of this word and allow me to guide your next step. I see you in your silence, wondering if these words are for you. I tell you, they are. There is no accident in what you are reading. Michael has carried this message to your soul because of how important it is. He says you were seconds away from walking into a choice, a conversation, or a connection that would have shattered you if you did not know the truth. He says if you delayed, your tears would have been endless. He says if you ignored, your nights would be haunted. He says if you turned away, you would blame yourself later for not listening when heaven shouted. And so I cry with him, my child, listen now. The 5 minutes are the mercy I give you, not to frighten you but to awaken you, not to harm you but to save you. When Michael says very bad news, he does not say it to break you, but to shake you, to keep you from being deceived by what looks beautiful but hides poison. My child, the very person who has smiled and pretended to care is the one who carries words against you. They have told others a story, they have painted you falsely, and their hands are not clean. But I expose them now, for no weapon formed against you shall prosper. I tear open the veil. I shout through the silence. I thunder across the sky that your name is mine, your destiny is mine, and no lie can erase what I placed upon you. Michael says he has stood in your room, watching you as you sleep, defending your soul from attacks you could not see. He says your tears have been seen by the heavens, and though you thought no one heard, he did. He carried them before my throne, and I answered with this word. This is why he begs you, open it, do not dismiss it. Very bad news is coming if you close your ears. But very great deliverance is here if you listen. My child, the person in question thought they were clever, thought they could hide forever, but heaven has recorded their words, their actions, their plots. You will see soon. It will come to light in ways that will shock you. They cannot hide anymore. They cannot keep this covered. You will be protected, you will be lifted, but you must not ignore. 5 minutes, Michael says. Every second is holy now, every breath is written with urgency. He swings his sword at the cords tied around you, breaking chains that were never meant to hold you. You will feel lighter soon, you will feel a release, you will feel my hand lifting the weight. But you must be ready. My child, I say again, this is not a small thing. This is not a casual message. This is the turning point. If you walk past it, regret will follow you. But if you embrace it, miracles will overtake you. Michael has sacrificed much to bring this message. He pleads with his voice shaking, do not let them blind you anymore. Do not let them steal from you anymore. Do not let them twist your story anymore. For I am the God who exposes, I am the God who redeems, I am the God who delivers, and this moment is yours. Open it fully, embrace it, act upon it. The very bad news they wanted to drop into your life will fall back upon their own head, and the tears they wanted you to cry will be the tears they weep. My child, rise, for the heavens are on your side. God says, my child, listen very carefully because the time is not on your side. Archangel Michael is standing right beside you now and he is trembling with urgency, his voice thundering with both love and alarm. He has never spoken to you with such trembling force before, and you must not ignore this because what he says carries the weight of eternity. Important alert, my beloved, very bad news hovers over you like a shadow about to cover the last piece of sunlight in your life. You have exactly 5 minutes to hear this, 5 minutes that separate your tears from your peace, 5 minutes that decide whether you step into the miracle I prepared for you or collapse into grief so deep that your soul shakes. If you leave this unspoken, if you turn your back, you will cry so much that your heart will not understand why heaven gave you so many signs and you did not respond. That is why I command you to open this immediately and receive what I am about to reveal. Do not think these are ordinary words. Each word here is dripping with divine urgency, written with fire from heaven's altar, carved by the sword of Michael himself, so that you cannot say later that no one warned you. The angels are shouting in the skies above you right now, my child, they are pressing their hands upon the windows of your destiny, crying, tell them now, before it is too late. Michael is bending low over you, his golden wings trembling, and he says, this is not just a message, it is the lifeline of your soul. Do not leave it unread, do not abandon it, for if you do, sorrow will flood you like an ocean, and you will cry rivers of tears that could have been avoided. You are not alone, though you have felt abandoned in secret places of your heart. You have wondered if heaven truly sees what is done in the dark, what is whispered about you behind closed doors, what is written against you in hidden records, but God says everything is uncovered. The terrible thing that has been building against you, the news that threatens to collapse upon you, was seen by my eyes long before it reached your ears. That is why Michael rushes in with such urgency, for the countdown is real. 5 minutes left before the window shifts. 5 minutes left before what was concealed bursts into the open. 5 minutes before either you embrace heaven's protection or you fall into unmeasurable grief. My child, listen, because the storm that was meant for you is already on the way, but heaven has intervened. A woman, someone you would not suspect, carried words against you to a place of power. Those words were twisted, lies wrapped in the clothing of truth, sharpened against you like a knife meant to pierce your reputation, your opportunities, your very peace of mind. These words were planted so that others would turn their eyes against you, so that doors would close before you even reached them. You may not have known it, but you have already felt the weight of invisible resistance pressing against your progress, the delay that seemed unexplainable, the sudden loss of support from people who once promised loyalty. That is not coincidence. This is the result of a secret scheme, and the person behind it thinks you will never know. But heaven says you must know now. Michael says, enough hiding, enough waiting, enough deception. He holds the scroll in his hand, and upon it are written the names of those who conspired, the times they met, the very money exchanged in the shadows to silence your rise. My beloved, they thought their secret would bury you, but instead, their secret is the very thing that heaven is exposing today to elevate you. This is why the alert is urgent. This is why the words are burning with warning. Because if you walk away from this revelation, you will continue to suffer unnecessarily, crying in confusion, asking why the attacks never cease. But if you open your heart now, if you hear what Michael declares, then the chains of that darkness will break, and your tears will be turned to laughter. My child, you may have noticed how suddenly your sleep has been troubled, how your thoughts are restless in the night hours, how your spirit senses danger though no one around you admits to it. That is not imagination, it is spiritual alarms ringing, and heaven has been trying to shake you awake. For many nights, Michael has hovered at your side, whispering warnings, but you turned in your bed and thought it was only dreams. Tonight, no more delay. Tonight, he has sacrificed his peace to break through to you. He says, this is your final chance before sorrow floods your eyes. Do not dismiss it, do not say you will read it later. You have minutes left to act. Important alert, my child. The news is heavy, one who smiled at you has spoken curses about you. One who called you friend has whispered betrayal. One who acted like family has carried secrets that could collapse everything you have worked for. If you knew what they said, if you heard how they twisted your name, your heart would break instantly. But heaven says, do not cry yet. Do not collapse yet. Because before the dagger touches you, I, the Lord, have moved my shield in place. Before their words finalize their damage, my truth is rising to the surface. Before the tears flow uncontrollably, heaven is giving you this message so you can stand strong. Michael is pleading, my beloved. His sword is unsheathed, and he has placed it into the ground beside you as a sign that heaven fights for you right now. But if you close your eyes and turn away, you will forfeit the protection being extended. Do not delay. Do not say later. Later will be too late. The angelic armies are marching now. They surround your home, they surround your path, because danger is closer than you realize. They are lifting their shields to block the darts being thrown at you. But here is what heaven says you must understand. This bad news that has been building was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to be the stage for your vindication. What was sent as a weapon will turn into a testimony. What was carried against you will be turned into proof of who you really are. But only if you do not ignore the urgency now. God says, "My child, this is why I called you here at this exact moment. Not earlier, not later, but now. Because in the next 5 minutes, a decision is made in the spirit that affects everything. The clock is ticking, and Michael cries, 'Open your ears, open your eyes, open your heart before the tears come.' He knows how much pain you have already carried, how much betrayal you have already endured, and he does not want you to carry more. That is why he is almost weeping with force, his voice breaking as he declares, 'Do not ignore this message. This is not ordinary. This is life or grief, safety or sorrow. My child, I know how tired you are. I know how you have prayed and wondered if answers would ever come. I know how your faith has been stretched thin by the weight of waiting. But hear me, this moment is the pivot point. Everything turns here. That is why the alert is urgent. That is why the message is burning. That is why heaven shakes as it speaks to you. Because if you let it pass, grief will drown you. But if you embrace it, joy unspeakable is waiting to burst through. So now, I ask you with divine urgency, will you hear me? Will you trust me? Will you believe Michael's trembling voice? 5 minutes. That is all you have. Open immediately, for heaven is moving now. God says, "My child, I am reaching out to you in this very moment because heaven has opened and Archangel Michael has stepped forward with trembling hands, carrying a message that weighs heavily upon the skies themselves. Important alert, this is no ordinary word, no ordinary sign, and no ordinary hour. There is a time limit resting upon your spirit right now, and the bells of heaven are ringing so loudly that even the angels cover their ears from the thunder of urgency. Archangel Michael says there are only 5 minutes left before the decision you make will mark the difference between the tears that will flood your nights and the peace that could flow into your heart. My child, if you leave this unread, if you ignore the stirring of my voice, the sorrow that will meet you will be heavier than you can bear. You will cry so much that even your pillow will not dry, and the walls will hear the trembling in your chest. That is why Michael shouts, not whispers, "Open this immediately, take this seriously, and do not dismiss the urgency of this moment." The heavens have been watching you carefully. Every thought that escaped your lips as prayer, every sigh that slipped from your chest in silence, every tear that fell when no one else could see has been gathered into the hands of angels. Yet, my child, in the midst of your cries, there has been a plot brewing against you. Michael says the very air you breathe has been charged with whispers from those who want you to fail, and while you were resting, there were forces moving pieces against you. He says, important alert, the truth is about to be uncovered, and when it is uncovered, it will shock you because it involves someone you never thought could hold darkness against you. Michael has seen their face, and he trembles, because betrayal has always been sharpest when it comes from the ones closest. God says, my beloved, I want you to know I have not left you. You are not abandoned. But time is slipping, and in 5 minutes everything changes. If you open your heart to this now, protection will rush over you like a flood, but if you turn away, the shield I prepared for you will delay, and in that delay the enemy will strike. Michael is crying because he does not want to see you wounded, and his sword is raised high, waiting for your yes, waiting for your response, waiting for you to open not only this word but also the chambers of your faith. This is not a casual message, not a shallow warning. This is heaven-breaking protocol to make sure you hear before it is too late. I see the tears of tomorrow if you walk away from this. I see the sorrow of your heart wondering why you were not warned, and I see you questioning why heaven was silent. That is why I tell you with urgency, heaven is not silent now. This is the voice, this is the message, this is the cry that must pierce you before regret comes. My child, you are standing at the door between disaster and deliverance, and Archangel Michael says the handle is in your hand. Will you open it, or will you let the time pass? He says the sands of the heavenly hourglass are already pouring down quickly, and every second is a heartbeat closer to the revelation that will either rescue you or ruin you. Listen carefully, my child, because I am going to reveal the secrets that have been hidden from you. You have been sensing a strange heaviness around you, a shadow that you cannot name, a feeling that someone is speaking words behind your back, yet no evidence comes to you. That heaviness is real. That whisper is true. Michael says he caught the sound of your name being discussed in places you were never invited to. He saw documents, papers, and signatures where your name was written but not in your hand. He saw people using what was yours to build something against you. And he says, important alert, you must be aware, because they are coming closer with their lies. My child, if you walk unaware, their net will catch you, but if you open this word and hold it deep inside, the net will break, and their lies will expose themselves before they can harm you. Michael says, very bad news is waiting at your doorstep if you ignore this. He says you cannot imagine how close the trouble has come, how near the shadow has stood, and how heavy the price would be if you turn away from the warning now. The enemy has studied your weaknesses, has studied your desires, has studied your hopes, and is trying to use them against you. You may think the faces around you are smiling, but Michael says he has seen the night where one of them removes the mask and laughs at your innocence. God says, my child, do not be deceived. Your heart has always been pure, and your love has always been strong, but not everyone around you carries that same purity. That is why Archangel Michael has been ordered to reveal the truth and stand between you and the danger that was prepared. The angels are restless right now. They are pacing because they know the weight of this hour. They know what 5 minutes can mean in the language of heaven. 5 minutes is not simply the ticking of a clock. It is the division between breakthrough and heartbreak, between seeing light and being swallowed by shadow. My beloved child, listen very carefully, for this message is sent to you not by chance, not by coincidence, but by divine urgency. Heaven bends low at this moment to whisper in your ear the truth that is meant for you alone. God says, my child, do not be afraid, but do not ignore this either. Archangel Michael himself has been sent to your side, and his voice trembles with intensity, because time is running out. You are being warned because your destiny is too precious to be left unprotected. There are moments in life when eternity presses close to the fragile seconds ticking away, and this is one of those moments. You have been given exactly this time to listen, to understand, and to hold fast to the message that has descended like fire from heaven. 5 minutes left may sound like fear, but it is a holy signal that the divine realm is shaking the earth beneath you, waking you up before something slips from your hands forever. God says, my child, I have not left you. I have not abandoned you. But you must understand, forces of darkness have surrounded you. They are whispering lies to you, they are trying to steal your joy, your peace, and even the blessing that is written with your name on it. They want you distracted, so that when your miracle knocks, you will not open the door. But Archangel Michael has stood before me with tears in his eyes and his sword drawn, crying, Father, let me go and shield this child. Let me carry the warning. Let me fight for them before it is too late. And I, the Lord your God, have sent him to you now. Archangel Michael speaks, and his words are fierce. Do not delay, do not take this lightly. My child, very bad news hovers like a storm cloud that can break at any second. If you walk away from this message, the heaviness will fall and you will weep with sorrow, crying because you knew you were warned but you ignored it. I beg you, I order you in God's holy name, listen now and act now. For if you listen, you will see that even what looks like bad news carries a hidden blessing, a secret treasure, and a divine rescue that the enemy cannot stop. Do you feel your heart trembling as these words pour into you? That is not fear, that is recognition. Your soul already knows this is not ordinary. You have been sensing that something around you is shifting, that people have been hiding things from you, that doors have been closing for no reason. You have felt the strange silence in your spirit, as if heaven has been waiting for you to pay attention. And now the veil has been torn aside, and the warning is in your hands. God says, my child, what the enemy meant for evil, I will turn for your good. But if you ignore my messengers, if you turn away and say, this is not for me, then the consequence will be heavier than you can bear. You will cry and ask why no one told you, and yet right now my voice is speaking through this message to save you from that grief. I am not a God who delights in your tears, but I am a God who allows warnings so that you may be spared. That is why I placed this before you today. You have been chosen. You may not feel chosen, you may feel weary, broken, overlooked, but heaven does not waste its words. If this has reached you, it is because your name was spoken in the courts of heaven. Archangel Michael cried out for you, and God Himself signed the order for this urgent message to reach your eyes and pierce your heart. You are not reading by accident, this is destiny. 5 minutes left means urgency. It means heaven has measured a short window where your faith can unlock what the enemy tried to shut. Think about it. How many times have you come so close to victory, only to feel it slip through your hands? How many promises have been delayed? How many nights have you wept, wondering if God still sees you? And now, this very moment, God says, "Yes, I see you. I never left you. And I am commanding you now, do not let this moment pass." Archangel Michael says, the bad news is real, but so is the protection. The dark forces have tried to place a snare before you. Someone around you has spoken words to harm you. A decision is being made behind closed doors that touches your destiny. There are papers, conversations, and actions moving that could have destroyed you. That is the bad news. But the greater news is this: because you are listening, because your spirit is open right now, God is rewriting the outcome. The tears the enemy wanted you to cry will be turned into tears of relief, into joy so overwhelming that you will lift your hands and know God never abandoned you. Beloved, God says to you, trust me, pray to me, and lean not on your own understanding. The storm looks fierce, but I command the winds. The news looks heavy, but I rewrite endings. The time looks short, but I created time itself. Do not fear. Rest assured, you are safe if you cling to me. Your soul is precious, and I will not let you be consumed. Feel the urgency, but also feel the safety. You are being pulled out of danger into destiny. You are being lifted from the trap into triumph. Do not run from this, do not silence it, do not doubt it. Pray right now. Whisper His name. Tell God, I trust you. I believe you are saving me right now. When you do, Archangel Michael's sword flashes brighter, cutting through the web of deception, guarding you like a shield of fire. And so the message continues to flow, word after word from heaven into your heart, wrapping you in divine urgency and divine protection. The bad news was near, but God intercepted it. The enemy wanted you to cry, but instead heaven wants you to rejoice. The clock of 5 minutes left is not to scare you, it is to awaken you, to make sure you do not miss the narrow gate of salvation, blessing, and breakthrough that is opening right now. You are safe. God is with you. Archangel Michael is beside you. The warning is not to harm you but to help you. The bad news is turning even now into testimony. Trust. Pray. Hold fast. Do not let this pass. My child, this message is your lifeline. Take it into your spirit, for it is your shield, your comfort, and your rescue. Heaven has spoken. Now believe. My child, hear this now, for the words that fall upon your heart are not given to pass you by but to anchor you in the truth that heaven is watching, and heaven is speaking. God says there is an important alert for you, and Archangel Michael has rushed forward, wings spread wide, crying out with urgency because the moment is delicate. The time is short, and only 5 minutes remain in which your decision, your openness, and your willingness to receive will determine the course of what follows. You must not turn away, you must not ignore this, because it is tied to your destiny, your safety, and the protection of your soul. If you leave this unread, if you turn away, tears will overwhelm you, for what is hidden now will then fall upon you without warning. But if you open your heart to this divine word, then even the worst news will not crush you, because God Himself will stand beside you, and Michael will fight with his sword of fire to keep harm away. God says, "Do not fear the words, bad news, for I do not speak them to destroy you, but to prepare you." What is revealed to you now is not meant to break you down but to show you how much I love you, how much I guard you, and how urgently I reach for you when darkness tries to overtake your path. Child, there are forces moving even now, whispering against you, planning quietly behind closed doors, trying to block your blessings and scatter your peace. They believed you were weak, they believed you would collapse, but they did not know that the angels of heaven stand over you like pillars of fire, and that no matter what schemes unfold, you are not alone. Michael says, "You are safe, but only if you stay awake, only if you keep your trust in God, only if you do not close your ears to this message." The enemy has moved close, so close that the sound of their breath can be felt at the edge of your life. They are hoping that you will remain blind, that you will remain numb, that you will dismiss the signs. But heaven cries out, 5 minutes, child. 5 minutes to understand that what you are reading is not an accident but an intervention. 5 minutes to open yourself to the truth that someone who pretends to care has placed a dagger behind their smile. 5 minutes to decide to lean on God instead of leaning on human promises. 5 minutes to let your tears fall now in surrender instead of later in devastation. God says, "You are safe, because you are mine. You will not fall to destruction, because my hand covers you." But know this, child, the tears that Michael weeps on your behalf are real. His voice trembles with warning because you have been careless at times, trusting voices that are not from me, allowing yourself to be pulled into distractions that cloud your vision. This is why this message comes with such urgency, because the time is thin, and the veil between exposure and danger is fragile. You must not treat this lightly. You wonder, what is the bad news? What is coming against me? Why now? And I answer, someone close to you, someone you thought you could trust, has been moving in silence with a heart that is not for you but against you. This is the truth. They have spoken words behind your back. They have written things with their hand. They have sought favor from others by betraying your name. But God says, I will not allow their lies to define you. I will not allow their betrayal to undo you. I have seen every word, I have read every letter, and I will expose it in my time. Michael says, if you ignore this, you will feel a pain in your heart when the exposure arrives, because you will realize you were warned but you did not prepare. Do not make me cry more than I already do for you. Do not let the tears of heaven fall in vain. The urgent truth is this: you are standing at the edge of breakthrough and danger at the same time. That is why you feel restless, why you feel like something is shifting in the unseen. It is because the spiritual world is pressing in. The enemy does not want you to know how close you are to divine blessings, so they have stirred up confusion, betrayal, and distractions to block you. But I, the Lord your God, say, even in this, you are safe. Even in this, I cover you. Rest assured, nothing will go wrong with you, because my hand will not release you. Child, pray now. Do not wait. Pray for the strength to see clearly. Pray for the courage to release those who are not for you. Pray for the discernment to know which voice belongs to heaven and which voice belongs to deception. Pray, because prayer is not small, it is the sword you wield, the shield that covers you, the fire that burns away what is false. You may cry as you hear this, because your heart has longed for love, for loyalty, for peace, and the thought that someone close could betray you feels unbearable. But God says, better to cry now with the truth than to weep later with destruction. Better to shed tears with me holding you than to collapse under the weight of a lie that pretends to be love. Archangel Michael bends low over you now. He says, 5 minutes. The window is open now. Receive this, and you will be shielded. Reject it, and you will learn through pain. But know that I fight for you, I stand by you, and I will not let the enemy take you, because you are chosen, because you are loved, because heaven has written your name on its walls. My beloved child, stay awake. Heaven is closer than you think, and your safety, your blessing, your breakthrough are all wrapped in my love. Trust, and you will not fall. Pray, and you will rise. Open your heart, and you will see that no matter how dark the news may seem, nothing, absolutely nothing, will go wrong with you, because you are mine, and I am with you forever. My beloved child, hear this urgent message that has been delivered to you at this exact moment, for it is not by accident that your spirit has been called here. God says, this is an important alert, and Archangel Michael stands close by, whispering into your soul with urgency. There are things unfolding in the unseen, things that you cannot yet see with your natural eyes, but they are pressing against your destiny, and you are being called to attention. God says, 5 minutes may feel like eternity or it may feel like a breath, but in those few moments heaven can shift everything. Do not dismiss this message as mere words, because there is a divine reason why you have been chosen to hear this right now. Archangel Michael says, you are being surrounded by energies that have not wanted you to succeed, and their plans are heavy against you. They wish to weigh you down with sorrow, with confusion, with the kind of grief that steals joy from your mornings and replaces peace with fear at night. God says, this is very bad news for you if you ignore it, because what is being uncovered is something that could break your spirit if you are not prepared. That is why heaven is intervening. That is why the alarm is ringing in your soul. That is why you feel a stirring in your heart right now as these words enter your life. Child, God says, there are moments in life when warnings come like whispers, and if you ignore them, the tears later cannot be counted. There are moments when heaven must speak louder, and this is one of those times. Archangel Michael says that you are standing on the edge of something very significant. It is as if you are walking toward a doorway, but just beyond it, there are forces waiting, some with blessings, some with burdens, some with deceit. And God does not want you to walk through without knowing what waits. That is why this urgent message has been delivered. There are people around you who carry secrets in their hearts. They smile in front of you, but behind closed doors they whisper things that would crush your spirit if you heard them. Archangel Michael has seen them. He has heard what they have said in the dark. And God says, their words will not remain hidden much longer. Heaven has decreed exposure. The masks are falling. The truth is breaking out like dawn breaking through the night. Do not be surprised when the ones you trusted most reveal what they truly carry. Do not be afraid when the illusions shatter, because God is protecting you through the exposure. My child, you are safe. You must trust this truth. God says, you are under divine covering even when it feels like the world is falling apart. But you must not ignore this alert. If you do, Archangel Michael says you will cry bitterly, because the opportunity to guard yourself, to pray, to act with wisdom, will have passed. There is very little time left in the spirit before what has been hidden comes crashing into the open. 5 minutes is not literal time, it is heaven's way of saying, the moment is upon you now, not later. It is happening swiftly. God says, do not allow fear to root itself in your heart. Instead, let faith grow taller than the fear. Pray. Even now, whisper a prayer, because that prayer will be like a sword in the hand of Michael, cutting away the cords that others tried to tie around your destiny. Pray for discernment, because your eyes will be opened to things you did not want to see but must see. Pray for strength, because when the tears try to come, the Spirit will comfort you and remind you that every loss is making way for greater gain. Archangel Michael says, "The news that is coming feels heavy, but it is not meant to destroy you. It is meant to redirect you." Sometimes God allows you to see betrayal, to feel rejection, to watch truth unfold painfully, not to harm you, but to free you. My child, the ties that are breaking are the same ties that have secretly been holding you captive. That is why it hurts so deeply, because you loved what was actually wounding you. But God says, you will not stay in chains. You will not stay in blindness. You will not stay in the grip of those who wish you harm. Right now, heaven is fighting for you. Michael's sword is drawn. There are forces that wanted to see you fail, wanted to see you cry endlessly, but their plans are being shattered. God says, you will cry, but your tears will not be wasted tears. They will water the soil where your blessings will grow. You will feel pain, but that pain will not break you, it will awaken you. You will feel loss, but that loss will not leave you empty, it will create space for what God is preparing to give you. My beloved child, do not walk away from this message, for it has been written with divine urgency. The reason you feel that tug in your spirit as you read is because your soul recognizes the truth behind these words.